Referee David Goff from Meath gets this eagerly awaited Ulster semi-final underway, and it is Armagh who will play from left to right for the opening 35 minutes. Tyrone won the toss and opted to play against a little breeze here, quite a significant breeze maybe as well, and straight away we've got Tyrone into an early attack here, looking to get the opening score, and that goes off the goalkeeper's fingertips and goes over the bar, and it's Darragh Canavan who gets it. There was a doubt about him coming into the match because of a hamstring injury. Took the pass from Kieran Daly. No hint of an injury there. Good start by Tyrone. Well, with that breeze blowing down the field here in Armagh's favour for the start of this game, for the first half, be interesting to see if they try for a couple of two-pointers. Greg McCabe. Armagh maybe the All-Ireland champions, but they're not the Ulster champions, of course, and it's some 17 years since they last won the Anglo-Celt Cup. Oisin Connaughty leaving it off here as far as Rory Grugan. Nice build up here, opportunity still, and that's nicely put over the crossbar. Oisin Connaughty, first attack by Armagh, producing a score, and the team's level immediately. Good build-up, good finish. Massive crowd here at St. Tiernach's Park for this. Lovely sunny afternoon. And Aidan Donaghy soloing forward here, out to the edge of the arc, giving it as far as Darren McCurry, quickly transferred, and then it's Rory Canavan having a go with that one, putting it just to the left. First wide of the game. Ethan Rafferty from Grange in Armagh, back between the posts again. Blaine Hughes, last year's netminder in All-Ireland winning year, has to be content with a place among the subs. That's a very good ball down here. Once again it's to Grugan, such a good leader in as far as Mernon, and then that ball lost and won back very cleverly there. Joe O'Goose in the thick of it, and then spinning around Kieran McGeary to get himself loose and get himself out of trouble. Free taken very quickly. Carried on here by Niall Devlin. Got the opening point of the game in their last match against Cavan. Built up from the back with Michael McKernan involved. Pointing the way there is Rory Canavan. Getting onto it immediately again. And that shot from just inside the arc, a little off-balanced, and eventually it is kept in by Charlie O'Byrnes, deciding rather than go for a kick out, they will restart themselves from play. Carried on here well. Nicely down by Barry McCambridge. Picked up here by Peter McGrain. Switched as far as Darragh McMullen. Back it comes again. McGrain had been at corner back for a bit of last year, setting up a nice one here and an opportunity for Armagh to go in front for the first time in the game. Great point by Ross McQuillan. So a very productive attack that time, involving Peter McGrain, taken on here by McQuillan, and the Cully Hanneman makes it 2-1. Two very strong rivals in Ulster football in opposition here, starting at a good pace. Oisin Connaughty's already scored in this game. Now the provider inside there, and that's Mernon having a go, and that one has gone away to the left-hand side. Missed opportunity there by Andrew Mernon. Kieran McGeary, fourth championship match against Tyrone as manager of Armagh. Just one win so far. Sun in the eyes of Niall Morgan. Today playing in his 58th championship match. Giving it a fair old thump into midfield. Tyrone now looking to hold on to it there. Joe O'Guz was in the thick of it, lost it. Won back well by Armagh. That was Tomas McGrain playing it across here, and Charlie O'Burns enjoying a very good spell in the starting 15 this year. A sub for much of last year. Darragh McMullen once again. Played really well, I thought, against Antrim. Surprised that he was omitted from the team that was given to us during the week. Both sides making 3 changes before the start of this match to their published team. There's a 2-point attempt here. It's a huge one, and that one is a beauty. Oisin O'Neill getting the first orange flag of the game. First 2-pointer. So that's 4 points to 1 in Armagh's favour. It was a huge kick here. O'Neill brought in, I think, specifically for those long-range shots. That's a very good start by Armagh. And all of that after Tyrone got the opening point of the game. Brian Kennedy leaving it off here. Carried on smartly, and the referee says too many steps taken. Penalising Rory Canavan that time. Armagh very quickly getting it downfield once again. Putting the pressure on Tyrone time and again. There's Andrew Murnan, a very good focal point for the All-Ireland champions. Peter McGrain on his shoulder here. He's always got a support player, and that's a very, very useful effort once again, but to the right this time, and just a miss that time by Callum O'Neill. Second wide of the game by Armagh. Malachy O'Rourke, his first year in charge of Tyrone. He's led Fermanagh and Monaghan to Ulster finals in the past. Morgan again. Tyrone looking to try and hold on to their own kick out, but the pressure is coming in immediately. That was 1 against 3, and the Armagh man, the one there, won it back. Good play. Armagh going forward again here. McMullen. Charlie O'Burns was there to support. Then it's Oisin O'Neill, and they are patient in their build-up here. Nice togetherness about the way Armagh have started this match. 7.5 minutes gone. They've got a 3 points advantage, and once again it is Andrew Murnan ready to lay siege to that Tyrone goal. Goalkeeper Ethan Rafferty has come forward. You may be certain that Tyrone will be looking out for him with his ability to kick from distance. Goalkeeper comes well and takes it. Good clean fetch that time by Niall Morgan. No stranger to playing outfield, of course. He plays outfield for his club. He collided there with one of the Armagh players. Referee says play on. Tyrone getting into the next attack and trying to move forward here with Kieran McGeary. No challenge immediately. Tyrone going back, and they line up around that arc and making sure that Tyrone don't have any easy outside shots. Michael McKernan. Build up slow, patient. McGeary. A Guz available to him if he wants to use him. It's still McGeary, just looking ahead of him here. Doesn't see anybody obviously free to give it to. Switches inside to Guz and takes a return himself. Now tries to break through. A good individual effort. This a very fine score. Nicely done. So that was a lovely pass here, taken on beautifully by Darren McCurry, and McCurry's opening point of the match makes it 4 points to 2. Paddy Burns. That's Connaughty again. Very much in the pivotal role of number 11 in that team, a role that's often filled by Rory Grugan. You can be certain that they will interchange as the game goes on. Darragh McMullen in his first championship season. Moved forward again here. Callum O'Neill. 4 points he got in the last game against Antrim. They just about managed to hold on to that one there, and then lost it. So Tyrone's turn now to bring it forward here. Almost getting caught there was Michael McKernan. Back as far as McGeary once again. Had a big part to play in their last score. Kieran Daly across here as far as Aidan Donaghy, clipped forward down along the line here. Across to get that one is Rory Canavan. Then it's McCurry. Canavan again. It's a dangerous looking inside forward line. Can they produce the necessary scores today, however, is the big question. And that is a wide by Rory Canavan. Got a quick glimpse there of Matty Donnelly. Very good kick out. Nicely delivered. And an opportunity now for Oisin Connaughty to run at the heart of the Tyrone defence. Oisin O'Neill back once more as far as McMullen that time. Good attempt once again now by Armagh to get forward, and it's Rory Grugan onto that left, and Grugan nails it. It's a 1-point score by Rory Grugan, having a very, very good season. So 11 minutes are gone, and Armagh lead here by 3 points. Forward they go once again, Tyrone. Back with Niall Devlin. Switched as far as Con Kilpatrick. It's that usual centre field pairing of Kennedy and Kilpatrick for Tyrone. So effective in the past. Tay going forward. Switch back here towards Dara Canavan. Taking it back. Rory Canavan taking over. Now Michael McKernan. Again, look at the number of bodies back there for Armagh. Difficult to breach. They fire it from a distance outside, and that is a miss by Dara Canavan. That's their third wide of the game. Still behind by 5 points to 2. Early stages. Ethan Rafferty having a little look around here just to see where's the optimum place to put this. Nicely taken in here by Ben Creeley. Referee saw the foul. Free taken by Greg McCabe. Greg, who scored a goal in a league match against Armagh a couple of years ago, 2022, on a day when it finished 11-14. Here comes Peter McGrain. Switch forward here. Armagh building. Again, they were teasing. It was Oisin O'Neill there, pretending to go for a two-pointer. Switched instead as far as Oisin Connaughty. Connaughty looking to try and break inside, and that's not easily done. And it's Tyrone who managed to come away with that. Con Kilpatrick, strongly built, almost immovable object there. And that's a yellow card which is dished out there by the referee to Andrew Murnan. First yellow card of the game. Still 3 between them. Here's a move by Joe O'Guz, under a lot of pressure, way up into the air. Coming down here and lost in there by Dara Canavan. The referee, however, had blown his whistle. There's going to be a free in. So an opportunity now for Tyrone to trim the lead. Big, huge one into the air. There was a late foul there on Con Kilpatrick. I've got the news on RTE in my earpiece at the moment. If anybody could lose it, it'd be great, please. Darren McCurry is going to take this free. Should be an easy tap over for him, and a second point of the match for McCurry. So now it's 5 points to 3. This kick out aimed over here towards Callum O'Neill, the under-21 captain, or under-20 captain, I should say. Beaten by Tyrone already in the under-20 championship this year, and he held on. And the referee in the end has given him the benefit of the doubt, and it's going to be an Armagh free kick. Oisin O'Neill with ball in hand. Referee is going to use the spray there just to point out to him that he can't pinch any extra yardage. Ethan Rafferty, the one who's been entrusted with the kick. As McGeary lines up his defence, sun in the eyes of the defenders, it's going to be Ethan Rafferty from Grange in Armagh to kick this one. In the past, he's managed to get 2 goals and 31 points in championship football. His manager looking on. He got 3 points in the last game against Antrim, looking to try and get his first here this afternoon. Every scoring opportunity so important, and he's miscued that one. Wide by quite a distance, in fact. That's 3 wides apiece now. A game that so far has been lacking that intensity, I think, that a lot of people were expecting to see from these great rivals. It may happen yet. It's a huge kick downfield, but again it is Armagh who are winning it, and they're bringing back Murnan time and again, the full forward, back into the middle third in order to win those kickouts. Charlie O'Byrne now, soloing forward. No pressure on him immediately. Still able to carry the ball forward, and the referee says too many steps as he was concentrating on his next move, but he gives the ball away quickly. Charlie Og, in case he was caught for a 50-metre penalty. Tyrone struggling just to get that ball, and they're in difficulty again here now. Armagh showing the necessary desire to win this, challenging strongly, working hard. And off they go once again. That time it was Ross McQuillan, already scored in this game. Here's Darragh McMullen. Made his league debut against Galway at the beginning of the year. Able to take it back. Tyrone allowing Armagh basically to have the ball in there. There's no attempt to go and get hands in and get the ball back in the middle third. Ethan Rafferty able to bring it forward. And again they move it through Oisin Connaughty, ready to take on Cormac Quinn. A chance here for Rory Grugan, kept it in play, under pressure, nicely across, beats the attempted block and up and over the crossbar. Very little the goalkeeper could do about it. Nice point scored by Callum O'Neill in his second championship match. He stretches the lead once again, back out to 3. Nice pass across to him, beat the attempted block, nothing the keeper could do. Has to be the more satisfied of the two managers. Midway through the opening half. And Tyrone were the ones fancied by an awful lot of people to beat Armagh here. May yet happen, long, long way to go. Joe Oguz, one of the 3 Errigal Tyrone players who were drafted in before the start of this match. A great club campaign, of course, last year and into this year. Michael McKernan switched across here, and that familiar languid style of Con Kilpatrick, switching it to Kieran McGeary. Armagh quite content to let them do what they want to do out there. Haven't been really hurting the Armagh defence so far. Here's Oguz. Back to McKernan it comes, right on the edge, goes for a 2-pointer, and he looks like he may have it. Is that the case? The umpires aren't too sure. He's sure, he's certain, and the referee, I think, is saying put up the flag. So it's a 2-pointer by Michael McKernan. Well, they took their time to decide on that one. It was Oguz who gave the pass, and a composed Michael McKernan was absolutely inch perfect. It's 6 points to 5. So now just a 1-point game. Burns switched across by Connaughty, getting a lot of opportunities to move that ball down that flank and do so with a lot of effectiveness. Darragh McMullen this time stopped by McKernan, and McKernan punching the air because he's won that decision from the referee. McMullen overheld. This was it again. I think Darren McMullen showing a little bit of inexperience there. He was eventually catching his opponent and dragging him a little bit, and David Goff was quickly onto it. From deep inside their own half of the field, it's Niall Devlin booting it ahead here as far as Rory Canavan. Taken back by Joe O'Goose. Transferred quickly. Bit of pace now in this attack. Canavan all the way over. Kieran McGeary pulling the strings. Switched across once again, this time to McKernan, who's already got a two-pointer. Nice pace in this. That is Kilpatrick. Here's Kilpatrick on his left. Made absolutely sure of that one, but the referee has brought it back. 20 minutes are gone. Referee explaining it all away there to Rory Canavan. Well, it's got to be a free in anyway, and Tyrone will have this opportunity now of drawing level. Darren McCurry, the one who's going to take it. A man who has scored 15, now 17 points in 4 and a bit matches against Armagh. So this will bring the match level for the second time. Pretty easy by his high standards. Another one for McCurry, another one for Tyrone. It's 6 points apiece. Well, that was the challenge there. The foul was by Ben Creeley. You can be certain that Con Kilpatrick would have been quite happy to have got the point because he thought he'd put it over the bar legitimately. Quickly back out again. Charlie Burns transferring it. They move it forwards towards Creeley, getting the hand pass away, and winning it back is Peter Tague. Now there's a bit more bite in the game all of a sudden. Forward they go once more, Tyrone. The raiding Kieran Daly. Daly with a lot of space, taking the ball back, but should have been able to take that pass by McCurry. He wasn't expecting it. Instead it is Paddy Burns, the cornerback of Armagh, and they're able to bring it downfield. Good togetherness now as they go forward quickly. Peter McGrain out to his left-hand side as far as Ross McQuillan, player who had a spell in the AFL on the books of Essendon some time ago. Oisin Connaughty out to Peter McGrain once more. Been a regular with Armagh during the championship last year, up to the All-Ireland final in fact. Greg McCabe from Camlock, again being allowed to take it forward. The Tyrone players guarding that 40-metre arc then, trying to make sure there's no easy shot. And they would be worried anytime Ethan Rafferty gets it because they know what he's capable of doing when he comes forward here. This time darting in onto his left-hand side. It'll count for one. Usually scores in a match, got 3 in the last game. He's got 1 here now, and Armagh are back in front again by 7 points to 6. Well, you know what to expect when he comes forward. You know how he hits with his left usually, but the trouble is trying to stop him. Back come Tyrone now to try and make their way forward. Collecting it is Michael McKernan, 27 years of age, from Coal Island. Kieran Daly there just ahead of him. Barry McCambridge trying to stop his progress. Joe O'Goose is there for Tyrone. Daly back as far as McKernan. Switch back here as far as Brian Kennedy, captain today. Kennedy, those long striding legs of his, that rasping shot in spite of the attentions of Peter McGrain, goes in but goes wide as well. So it's a 4th wide by Tyrone. That time the effort by Brian Kennedy. Ooh, that kick out just about judged by Tomas McCormack from the kick out by Ethan Rafferty. Got away with it. And now we're able to break forward. Oisin Connaughty again from Portadown. Switched inside here. Greg McCabe carrying it on. Player who can play in so many different positions and has done so for Armagh over the years. Vernon effective so far. Charlie O'Byrne's chancing one. It's got to drop a bit short. An easy one for the goalkeeper once the inside forward was being well marked. Oh, the challenge then came in, and Niall Morgan can't be that casual, and they get away with that one. Rory Brennan playing it across as far as his fullback Peter Tague, and Tyrone were able to build once again. Well, they can't afford any kind of lapse of concentration like that last one there. Just about got away with that. 7-6 Armagh in front. Tyrone looking to try and draw level. McCurry again up there. So too is Derek Canavan. Transferring that one as far as Kieran McGeary. Held on too long. Intense pressure on him. Rory Grugan taps and goes. And with the new rules, there's no bickering. You just get on with it. Otherwise, you're going to be penalised very severely. It adds to the enjoyment level. Andrew Murnan now ready to take on Brian Kennedy. Hitting it off his left and hitting it beautifully over. Inch perfect. Exquisite by Andrew Murnan. First of the day for him. Stretching the lead to 2 points. 8 points to 6. He had to battle very, very hard there, McGeary initially, but then lost it. This was the shot by Murnan. A real beauty. But 9 minutes to go to half-time. And that kick-out demands that Joe Guz comes across there and made sure the Armagh player didn't touch it. Massive crowd here at St. Tiernach's Park, a match everybody had been looking forward to for quite some time. Here's Kieran Daly. Tyrone working it forward again here now. McKernan involved. 2 points down. Tyrone looking to try and draw level here. Here's McCurry, a quick injection of pace here. 2 or 3 backs going after him, trying to make it difficult for him. And that final shot up into the air, but the referee saw the foul committed there. It's got to be a free in, and this should make it a 1-point game once again. David Goff never too far away from the action. Rory Canavan there with a little word to David Goff. Probably about an earlier incident. Did you not see that, referee? This suits Darren McCurry, or should do so anyway. Coming in on the right, using his left boot. He's already scored 3 times. The only other forward to score has been Derek Canavan. And that one, yeah, just inside the left-hand upright. Malachi O'Rourke will be pleased. McCurry's got a 4th. It's 8-7. Once again, Ethan Rafferty plays it out to the left-hand side here. Been doing that a couple of times, getting away with it, in spite of the fact that Tyrone are alert to that ploy. Ross McQuillan now, one of the Cullyhanna players. Rory Grugan, familiar style. Helping him out here is Dara McMullen, and that's up into the air, but it's gone away left. Missed opportunity. McMullen still to score. 4 wides by Armagh now. Retaining the All-Ireland, no doubt, is the number one priority. Armagh would love to get back into another Ulster final. They've been there for the last 2 years, only beaten on penalties. Morgan puts it straight down through the centre. And that was dropped, and away went Kieran McGeary, thinking he was able to get free, but the referee had blown the whistle, signalling an Armagh free. And once again, they take it forward here with a lot of purpose. Oisin O'Neill's around. Switch back here. Not taken cleanly the first time, but with a lot of intensity and well directed. That's another fine score. And again, it's Andrew Murnan. Seemed to have lost it for a moment there. It bounced out of his grasp, and then he regained it quickly, powered forward, struck smartly. 9-7. Morgan bringing it out towards this side. A few of them have come out this way. Callum O'Neill having a good game in the middle of the field. Nicely on here. That's Oisin O'Neill directing it in. The goalkeeper just got a touch to it. Helped out here by Michael McKernan. That was pretty dangerous there. Goalkeeper did well. Did just enough as well. And Cormac Quinn now down on the ground. Referee says play on. Rory Brennan from Trillick does so. And they get it forward as far as Con Kilpatrick. Slipping it in field. Brennan was there. Free kick awarded. The goalkeeper still in a little bit of difficulty here. Doesn't look 100%. Niall Morgan. McGeary carrying it on. That familiar style of his. Trying to step past Darragh McMullen. Helped out here. And there's Darren McCurry. And that is so typical of the man. He punches the air at the end of it all. Job well done by McCurry. Getting his 5th point of the match so far. And 2 of those have come from open play. Stole in past McMullen. Hit it cleanly and smartly. One between them. Oisin Connaughty once more going forward here. Game has got much better in the last 20 minutes. Murnan back here. Thought about taking it back from McMullen. Into the hands of Rory Grugan. On they move once again here. And this is Ross McQuillan. Pointing the way there to Rory Grugan. And here comes goalkeeper Ethan Rafferty. Murnan. Switch back. Oh, that's a poor pass there on the part of Grugan, intended for the goalkeeper, is now out. If Tyrone can get the ball forward quickly, which they can't, and Armagh are able to reset the attack once more. Grugan switching it across here. There's a man over. Here's a real opportunity. There's a goal on for O'Neill, and he puts it up and over the crossbar. Callum O'Neill with his 2nd point of the game. I think had he been a tiny bit more ambitious, there was a goal on. It's 10 points to 8. He's content with the point. Happy to just knock it over the crossbar. He knows it was quite a decent chance. Now Morgan recovered from whatever injury he sustained when he made an earlier save. Again, the middle third here being won by Armagh. That time it was Peter McGrain winning it, giving it out as far as Connaughty, and moved forward by Jarly O'Burns. Jarly moves forward. The ball is still coming through the centre here. And the influential Oisin Connaughty setting up the plays. Grugan. Switched across over here. Well, the intention was to give it to Ross McQuillan, but they gave the ball away. Another bad turnover that time. Just a couple of lapses now by Armagh. They're ahead by 2. Tyrone just don't have any answer immediately, and that is Barry McCambridge ruggedly taking control of that. Greg McCabe stealing through the centre. And once again they set up the play with Grugan giving an indication with the raised arm what he wants the other forwards to do, something maybe they have planned in training. There's another 2 minutes to go to the hooter for half-time. Armagh are ahead by 10 points to 8. Peter McGrain in his 10th championship match, across as far as Rory Grugan, is much more experienced at this level. Andrew Murnan just bouncing and holding. They're controlling the tempo of this. Nothing that Tyrone can do about it. They're retreating. Goalkeeper there as well to help out, which means there must be 4 back in the other half of the field. And that final kick here might well produce something special, and it has. A lovely score contributed by Oisin Connaughty, his 2nd of the match, and he's put 3 between them with just over a minute to go to half-time. Connaughty, very, very composed and deadly accurate. And at the end, a little nudge there for Michael McKernan. Tyrone, is there a chance for them to get a late score in this first half? Kilpatrick setting it forward here with his midfield partner, Kennedy. Brian Kennedy challenged, and those challenges are coming in from Armagh. They're showing the necessary aggression all over the place. They're working for one another, and there's not a great deal that Tyrone have been able to do. Only 2 of the Tyrone forwards have scored, McCurry and Dara Canavan. Meanwhile, Armagh look to try and round off this first half, which has been very satisfactory from their point of view, with another score. They know there's about 25 seconds still to go. Kicked across here by Oisin O'Neill, picked up by Rory Grugan. The hooter will sound in about 10 seconds, and then they will continue to play until the ball goes out of play. Ethan Rafferty. So this is the final play of the opening half here. Armagh 3 to the good. They have the opportunity now at this stage just to see who is in the best possible position to have a go. Will it be a 2-pointer? Rafferty playing it across. Mernon, who's kicked 2 very, very good scores. As far as Callum O'Neill, who's also got 2 points. Nothing in the world that Tyrone are able to do about it, it would appear. They're just tracking around, watching Armagh control. Ethan Rafferty, and Ethan Rafferty's having a go from a big, big distance out. I thought they could have been a wee bit more patient than that. It's a 5th wide instead. There goes the half-time, and it is Armagh who are ahead at this stage. 3 points between the teams. Oisin O'Neill, who got the only 2-pointer in the first half. And in St. Tiernach Park, the half-time score will show Armagh 11 points, Tyrone 8. When we eventually see it. Oh, there we are. 11 points to 8. Half-time score, Armagh 11, Tyrone 8. Second half gets underway, a place in this year's Ulster final, which is scheduled for the 11th of May at stake, and straight away it's Tyrone, 3 points down, looking to make a bright start to the second half. This is Darragh Canavan, almost dispossessed that time. The challenge coming in there from Callum O'Neill, still there possible, and eventually hands go in and they manage to win it back, Armagh, and they show the necessary tenacity and now break very, very quickly with Oisin Connaughty once again, locating Charlie O'Byrne. Moving forward is Tomas McCormack, who scored a goal against Antrim in the last round. This time it's Ben Creeley, and he's blocked out, but picked up by Andrew Murnan, and Armagh managed to retain it. Rory Grugan back here, carried on again by Darragh McMullen. Oisin O'Neill helping out, then in as far as Connaughty. Connaughty tries one. Has he got it? He certainly has. Very bright start to the second half by Oisin Connaughty. Did something similar in the beginning of the game, and now he's on 3 points in this match, and Armagh stretch their lead out to 4 points. Down it comes once again for Tyrone, this time to Rory Brennan. Con Kilpatrick now taking it up, looking ahead of him, just deciding where they'll move it to. 6 of the last 8 points scored by Armagh in this game, as Joe O'Goose places it across here in front of Michael McKernan. And McKernan, who got one of two point scores in the opening half, the other one of course scored by Oisin O'Neill of Armagh. McGeary back as far as McCurry, and the Macs combine and look to try and get another big score here, but that one has got away left. 5th wide in the match by Tyrone. Malachy O'Rourke calling out the instructions, looking for a bit more. Both sides with very, very talented benches, and I'm sure we will see those benches being emptied before the end of the 70 minutes. That is Ross McQuillan, stolen back, however, by Rory Brennan, and then lost. On they go once again, Charlie O'Byrne. Morgan's gone forward, and then coming back, and that one is hit, and that one is hit inside the right-hand upright, and it goes over off Connaughty once again. He's made the best possible starts to the second half. Well, Niall Morgan was coming out, and then he was going back again, the goalkeeper. In the end, Connaughty was quite content just to tap it over the bar. 13 points to 8. Big, huge kick out this time. Tyrone tried to win it. Aidan Donaghy got it, and then gives it to Kieran McGeary to plant it down there in the inside forward line. Rory Canavan this time, giving it to Joe O'Goose, his clubmate, at Errigal Kieran. They need to make tracks here and get a reply to those early scores by Oisin Connaughty of Armagh. Still building. Out again they come around the outside of the 40-metre arc. And that is a 2-point attempt, which has come off. A big, big one that time, scored by Con Kilpatrick. So a second 2-point score scored by a Tyrone player, and suddenly the lead is back down to 3 once again, as they were at half-time. He was well outside the 40-metre arc, hit it splendidly. Well, that is one that Tyrone very, very badly needed, just to get themselves into the groove once again at the start of this second half. Armagh have looked the brighter. Nicely forward once again towards Oisin O'Neill. Hand passing it inside. Connaughty again, back towards Grugan. Up there as well as McQuillan. And they are tormenting the Tyrone backs there. Good presence by Armagh players forward, but the ball is handled on the ground, and it's going to be a free out. It was Barry McCambridge who handled it last. Now there could be a gap here, which Tyrone might be able to exploit. Armagh had been throwing the bodies forward. Now quickly they're retreating, because this is a golden opportunity. It's Rory Canavan, back here it comes to his brother Darragh, and Darragh puts it over the crossbar. Point in each half now for Darragh Canavan, so they've got the last 2 scores, a 2-pointer and a single score, so 3 points means there's just 2 between them at this stage. 13 points to 11. Forward they come once again, Armagh. And that one is by Oisin O'Neill inside there. And that's got over the crossbar. Very, very good shot here by Ross McQuillan, replicating what he did in the first half. He looks like he's come off second best. Oisin O'Neill put it in front of him here. He beat the attempted block of Cormac Quinn and made it 14 points to 11. But McQuillan looks to be in a bit of difficulty, limping on. Tyrone bring the ball out of their own half of the field with difficulty. Peter Tague, their full-back, played against Armagh in the 2022 All-Ireland qualifiers. Held up here well by Con Kilpatrick, no pressure on him. All the way across towards Michael McKernan. 3 between them, could become 2, but that's a poor final shot there by McKernan. So changes coming up, and Shawnee O'Donnell is going to be the first player to come in for Malachy O'Rourke's team. And the player he's going to replace will be Aidan Donaghy, who didn't really figure today in any great way. Just his 4th championship match. Ends 6.5 minutes into the second half. That kick out is straight to Callum O'Neill. Very promising and talented young player. Off they move once again here, and it is Darragh McMullen, such a good ball carrier. Moves smoothly and efficiently as far as Oisin Connaughty. Back it comes to O'Neill again, hitting this one with pinpoint accuracy, and another fine score, rallying the troops. And that is a 3rd point for him in this game. 15 points to 11. Armagh have been keeping Tyrone at arm's length so far in this match. Long way to go. Niall Morgan booting it away downfield, punched down vigorously that time by Ben Creeley, and Armagh are able to retain it, take it forward here, and look to profit by their current possession. Oisin Connaughty against Con Kilpatrick. More reinforcements coming back to help out Kilpatrick. Ross McQuillan happily recovered from injury, giving it off here as far as Darragh McMullen. And now it's the turn of Armagh just to knock it around the edge of the 40-metre arc. Goalkeeper Ethan Rafferty likes to go forward, helped out the whole time. It's Charlie O'Byrne now. Burns taking it back as a fisted point here for the taking, and he does so. We remember him doing that in Croke Park last year, and he got up here in the 8th minute of the second half to make it 16 points to 11. So 5 points between the teams. The sides have been level on just 2 occasions at the very beginning of the game. That's well kicked down as far as Shawnee O'Donnell, unmarked initially. Clipped forward there by Kieran Daly. And that inside forward line, if they get possession in there, there's lots of scores to be had, you would think, but they're up against a physically strong, tough, unyielding Armagh defence. Forward they go again, Armagh. It's Rory Grugan with intent and determination, helped out here by Ben Creeley. Free awarded. Now it'll be Oisin Connaughty's turn to move it forward. What a match he's playing. 2 points in each half so far for him. Constantly involved, constantly prompting. Burns, who got that last fisted point a few moments ago, over here as far as Ross McQuillan. Punched inside here, and they're finding gaps the whole time. Ben Creeley this time makes it look so easy. First point of the match here for them, but all of a sudden Tyrone are yielding far too much for Armagh. There was very little pressure on him. Kieran McGeary was late in getting across to the number 22 or 24. McGeary was slow in getting across to Creeley that time. Armagh coming once again. Forward they go, and the referee says too many steps taken. And that time penalised was Callum O'Neill. Michael McKernan taking the free kick. And now there's a lot of pace in this attack by Tyrone. They're 6 points behind. It's Darren McCurry looking to get his first points of the second half, and that'll do nicely. That's a 6 by Darren McCurry. So the lead is back down to 5, still very manageable. Just about 10 minutes into the second half. Ethan Rafferty lazily struck goal kick out to the far flank, retained well by them. He knew who to target, Andrew Murnan, time and again. Armagh have done extremely well with their kickouts, 16 out of 16 so far. Tyrone less successful. Oisin Connaughty once again out to the flanks, and then a return ball back to the Tiernach man from Portadown, motoring well. On they go once more, and that's just outside the large square. That challenge, that foul, brings down the big bulk of a man who was fouled that time, and that was Greg McCabe. Peter Tague is the player on the ground here. Well, it's been a very energetic start to the second half. Armagh have got an extra 6 points. Tyrone have got an extra 4. Well, the kickouts by Ethan Rafferty in this match so far have been exemplary, and that has been tapped over the bar there by Rory Grugan. We didn't see it, but it counts. And that was the first point to come from a free for Armagh in this contest. So 6 between them. And now there is a problem still for Peter Tague in the background being attended. Kickouts taken once again, batted back down, but won by Tyrone this time, by Kieran McGeary. O'Donnell gives it off to O'Goose. Into it quickly comes Darren McCurry. Swift, decisive and accurate. And that's another one for him. That's 7 in the match so far. He's leading the way. Darren McCurry has made it 18 points to 13. And a couple of changes coming up now for Tyrone. So Ben MacDonald will be the first to come in. Ben MacDonald, number 20. And Owen McElhome is the other man coming in, an under-20 player. Rory Canavan and Joe O'Goose, the players going off. So a midfielder and a corner forward brought in by Malachi O'Rourke. Armagh leading the way, 5 ahead. Tyrone trying to pin them back. Not easily done, but the referee says in moving out that time, the quarterback, Paddy Burns, overcarried, and it's going to be a free in and a chance now to make it a 4-point contest. And with the 2-point scores available nowadays, any kind of a lead up to, say, 10, 12 points can be considered doable, can be considered possible to bring back. Again, it is Darren Canavan. 3rd point for him in the match, so 18 points to 14. Ethan Rafferty once again with an inch perfect kick out, which Armagh managed to retain. Tomas McCormack now, an inexperienced player at the back, but he has played his part so far. Barry McCambridge over here, clipping it forward here, using the foot pass intelligently to Ben Creeley. Back once again it comes, this time to Charlie Burns, and Charlie O gives it to Connaughty. Once again it is Charlie O Burns who made his debut against Down some 6 years ago. Oisin Connaughty, man of the match in the All-Ireland final last year. Andrew Murnan. And now Peter McGrain carrying it forward. McGrain with players trying to shield Tyrone opponents and open up a channel in there. Grugan Back it comes once again towards Callum O'Neill, and that's beautifully over the crossbar. Callum O'Neill with his third. Showed real determination and real composure and self-belief. He took it on here and booted it over Niall Morgan's crossbar. 19-14. Morgan once again kicking out, hoping that this time Tyrone will be able to retain their own kick out. Well, it's gone off, I think a Tyrone, off an Armagh hand, has it? Seemed to be off Andrew Murnan. Tyrone come again. Shawnee O'Donnell. Held on to over there. Here comes Rory Brennan, centre half back, brought back into the squad this year by Malachy O'Rourke, and that pass has gone astray there from Darren McCurry. Again, another turnover, and it enables Armagh now to just hold and build and frustrate Tyrone, as they have been doing for so much of this match so far. Popped forward to Oisín Connaughty, ready to take on his man, who is Peter Tague, who was down with an injury a little while ago. Oisín O'Neill now kicking right on the edge of the three-pointer. It's gone up into the air anyway, not going to make the target. There was pushing and shoving going on in there, and Rory Grugan gives the ball back immediately because the free has been taken by Niall Morgan, and he makes tracks, sweeps forward. His fifth time to play against Armagh in the championship, Niall Morgan. Carried forward here once again. Kieran McGeary, man of the match, or has been man of the match on a few occasions, certainly in the last game against Cavan. But they are 5 points down here in the Ulster semi-final. Con Kilpatrick. Here's Owen McElhone, current under-20 player. Back it goes to Con Kilpatrick again, already the scorer of one of the two-pointers for Tyrone. They'd be happy to just get one with this attempt, and they do so. And it's Owen McElhone justifying the decision by Malachy O'Rourke to include him in the last couple of minutes on a sub, making an impact, and it's back to 4 points between them once again. And coming in is Conor Turbett. Didn't start because of a niggle, an injury, we are told, and he's going to replace Oisín O'Neill. So Turbett, who was an all-star in 2024, comes in, and that is gathered in extremely well by Ben McDonnell, the Errigal Kieran player. Right into the centre of that Armagh defence, and they're causing problems, real problems. That was McElhone that time, but the referee had blown his whistle. It's got to be a free in, but he means so much trouble to opposing defences. So this is a chance for Darren McCurry to put it over with that left boot of his and leave just a solitary score, really, between the teams. This will make it 19 points to 16. And McCurry with his 8th. Well, he's done well, but it's Owen McElhone here, stealing into that goal area, causing problems, real headache for any defence trying to mark him. Heading into the final quarter of this match, there would be extra time, of course, and penalties if they finish level at the end of 70 minutes. And you never know what might happen when these two teams compete in battle. Ball has been brought forward 50 metres there. A puzzled Con Kilpatrick. The referee explains it to him. And there's a yellow card issued as well. Only the team captain is supposed to speak to the referee. Team captain on the field today for Tyrone is Brian Kennedy. Here comes Ethan Rafferty on the edge of the D, kicking truly, but kicking to the right as well, and a missed opportunity. He did score one earlier on, a solitary point And now it's the turn of Peter Hart to come in, and he'll be coming in for Kieran Daly. Peter Hart, who first played against Armagh back in 2011, a match in which he scored 4 points that day. And there's another change as well, and that's the familiar figure of Jamar Hall. And Ben Creeley is the one who will make way for him. Different type of player. Hall obviously is not as tall as Ben Creeley, but he will do an immense amount of hard work. Just over 60 minutes of normal time to go here, and that's got out over the sideline. They're having problems with that kick out all throughout the game here. The restarts simply haven't been up to the level that they would have wished for. Armagh coming back again now here. They're still 3 points up. Jamar Hall getting his hands on the ball for the first time. Looking to be a major influence. Tomas McCormack. Then it's Charlie O'Byrnes. Grugan setting up the plays with Oisin Connaughty. Out there is Charlie O'Byrnes. Cutting inside here. Be chased after by McGeary. It's still Armagh with possession, running into challenges there, but wisely using it. One thing they're particularly good at, not carrying it into a tackle, releasing the ball just in time. And that ball is just short, and Niall Morgan's able to get away from the challenge there of Callum O'Neill. O'Neill comes again, hits him. Referee says play on. They do so, and now the referee is going to halt it up. Perhaps he heard something in his ear there from one of the other officials. It merits a card, and the card is going to be issued to Niall Morgan. Maybe he reacted to the challenge there by Callum O'Neill. He appeared to be fouled by the number 8 of Armagh. He must have responded. Free taken by Peter Hart for Tyrone. Back into his hands once again. Playing in his 80th championship match this evening here in Clones. All the way across. McKernan. And that is a foul there by Jamar Hall. It's going to be a free in for Tyrone, and the one thing that Armagh cannot afford to do right now is start fouling in scoreable positions. If this goes over, it'll be a 2-point game. McKernan still receiving some attention. About 14 minutes still to go of the scheduled 70, that is. Liam Devaney from Mayo there, the official, along with the referee David Goff. Malachy O'Rourke trying to G up his team once again for one big, huge finish. They've been second best so far, just about, but there's still time to go. It's still possible for either of these teams to win the semi-final. It'll be Darragh Canavan who will take it. 3 points, and it's a 2-point effort, and he's hitting in. It drops short. Ethan Rafferty. Well, there was a point for the taking. Oh, that's a very poor pass that time. Down went Rafferty, and he had to be very careful. He was black carded, and they conceded a penalty against Antrim in the last match 2 weeks ago. And here Tomas McCormack is getting into difficulty, and the referee says foul, and it's a free kick taken quickly by Tyrone. Still 3 behind. Just over 13 minutes still to go. So misplaced passes can be very, very costly. As Con Kilpatrick steals in, they'll settle for a 1-point score if they can get it at this stage. Tyrone, plenty of time. Back goes Darragh Canavan, slipping it inside here. That was bravely done by Cormac Quinn, and Cormac Quinn, down he goes. Free kick awarded, and now surely Tyrone will just take the opportunity to get a 1-point score as Oisin Connaughty gets himself a card. This was that ball here by Ethan Rafferty, who went down that time. I wonder was he outside when he went down and handled that ball, but referee didn't blow his whistle. Play continued. So there's a problem here. Getting the attention is Cormac Quinn. It was outside the large parallelogram anyway when Ethan Rafferty went diving in there to make sure. The pass was by Callum O'Neill, who went astray that time, and Ethan Rafferty had to come in and try and bail his team out. Cormac Quinn back on his feet once again. Not sure if Cormac Quinn is going to be able to continue. He's gone off the field anyway because he received attention on the field. Tyrone have already made 4 substitutions in this match. So Dara Canavan will be the one who will take this from 20 metres out. Should be easy enough to pop it over. With nearly 58 minutes gone, that's his 4th. And it now becomes 19 points to 17, a 2-point game. And I think Aidan Clark is the one who's going to come on as a replacement for Cormac Quinn. Change, it's in fact not going to be Clark, it's Paddy Hampsey who's come in, number 18. Burns trying to set up the next Armagh attack. Players asking him to give it to them. Eventually Conor Turbett has it, gives it back here as far as Peter McGrain. Players going down with cramps at this stage as Armagh continue to attack there. Ross McQuillan turning it back. Turbett once again. Over here he's got Charlie O'Byrne available to him. 11.5 minutes are left in the match. Charlie O'Byrne, his team 2 in front, gives it to Jamar Hall. Slipped all the way back here to Peter McGrain. And right now they're just intent on holding possession and making sure that they don't give Tyrone any sniff of possession and an opportunity to counter-attack. They've got to be absolutely precise. They have to concentrate. Ross McQuillan ready to try and take on his opponent that time, who was the new man in, Paddy Hampsey. And that's a psychological battle there for Tyrone, won by them. Hampsey winning his duel. And now the turnover allows Tyrone to carry it forward here. The captain, Brian Kennedy, turning it back. On they go once again. Will they go for a 2-point attempt? Will they be content to try and work it in and try and get a 1-point score? Loads and loads of time left, over 10 minutes. Darren McCurry, who's got 8 points in the match so far. Con Kilpatrick, a 2-pointer earlier on. Well, here's Peter Hart going for a 2-pointer. What a hero he has been over the years. He's levelled up the match, level for the 3rd time. Peter Hart comes on and gets that huge outside shot to make it 19 points apiece. 10 minutes are left. And once again, there's a penalty against an Armagh player. Peter Hart then doing his job and now possession and giving it across over here as far as Kieran McGeary. Well, we're in for a big last 10 minutes in this match. It's McGeary switching it back to Peter Hart. He's seen it all and done it all so many times in a fantastic career for the Red Hand. And the David Goff now going across. He's got his yellow card ready to flash it in the direction of someone. It's McGeaney, I think. Well, it's the Armagh bench that he was yellow carding. I'm guessing it was Kieran McGeeney. The linesman must have heard something, and the result anyway is going to be another free kick. More changes for Armagh, and this time it'll be Cian McConville. Well, I think he's the one who got the yellow card. I think there was some frustration on his part. Here's the chance for Darren McCurry outside the two-point arc, and once again delivered with precision for Tyrone, who now lead by 21 points to 19. More changes coming up, and this is Cian McConville now. After Armagh have led for so long in this match, they've now taken a grip and they are ahead by 2. Kick out once again by Armagh, by Ethan Rafferty. Now it's very much the match that we were anticipating and looking forward to. Charlie O'Byrnes playing it forward here. O'Neill was involved, as far as Jamar Hall. Hall holding it up here, retaining the possession. Everybody now trying to make sure that they take the best possible options, work it into situations where there are good scoring opportunities. Losing possession now, turning it over, is just going to be absolutely against everything that they would wish to do. Here's Rory Grugan, patient as ever, switched inside to McConville. And McConville goes again. Turning inside here, switched off nicely as far as Conor Turbot. Turbot looking for the room, and he's found the room, and he puts it over the crossbar. And that is one back. So it's a 1-point game. It's 21 points to 20. Tyrone still in front. Every possession so vital. Every scoring opportunity crucial. This is Brian Kennedy breaking forward here. It's Con Kilpatrick. Con Kilpatrick breaking forward, switched inside. And that is a chance and a really good opportunity, which is taken brilliantly. And that is McElhone once again. A second point by Owen McElhone. Take it again. Con Kilpatrick coming through here, switching it inside beautifully to Owen McElhone, and nicely done by McElhone. That's his second of the match, and it's 22 points to 20. Stephen Campbell coming on now in place of Andrew Murnan. So it's now up to Armagh to do what they can do. They've got 7 minutes left to try and tie it up here. Here's Stephen Campbell immediately, looking to make an impact, just as McElhone made an impact when he came on for Tyrone. McConville, back it comes as far as Connaughty. Had such a good start to the second half with 2 very good points. On to Charlie Burns, Charlie O'Byrnes, hand passing it inside here as far as McGrain. Difficult to get away there from Rory Brennan. Got the space, got the attitude, got the latitude, but not the accuracy. And that is a second wide of the second half by Armagh, and they're 7th in all. They are still behind. And you can see just how weary Charlie O'Byrnes is at this stage. Well, Malachy O'Rourke knows that every attack at this stage has to produce something. Niall Morgan, and again he kicks it out over the sideline. He's having one of those days with the restarts. Well, he's not going to panic, that's for sure. Kieran McGeary, only 2 points in it. Anything's possible. 6 minutes to go. Paddy Burns did well under pressure. Gave it as far as Stephen Campbell and took a return. Over here to Tomas McCormack. McCormack booting it ahead. Nice accuracy, good movement out of Oisin Connaughty to come and take it. Get there ahead of his man, who was Con Kilpatrick. Tyrone have it back once again, however. And they are now finding the kind of fluency and rhythm that Armagh were showing earlier on. That iron steel of determination at the back to hold out and to deny Armagh opportunities. Kieran McGeary grounded there by Tomás McCormack, and the referee here will deal with this, and it's a yellow card for the 24-year-old from Armagh. Free kick quickly taken. Peter Hart turning it back as far as McGeary. Players who starred in that All-Ireland final win in 2021 against Mayo. Now looking to get back into an Ulster final for the first time since 2021, that All-Ireland winning year. Peter Tague from Dromore. On they go once again as far as Owen McElhone, a real star for the future. Didn't start the game today, but when you've got an inside forward line with the Canavans and McCurry, it's hard to break in, but he's done well. Hart turning it back to Kieran McGeary from Pomeroy. And now it's their turn to try and frustrate Armagh as best they can, playing keep ball. Across it comes to McElhone once again. And then it's Niall Devlin's turn to switch it back outside to the flanks. Onto it comes McKernan, ready to take on Campbell. McKernan goes in, looking for a call, looking for a decision that might go his way. Didn't give the ball away immediately. The referee says get on with it anyway. And Armagh do so and get it out as far as Cian McConville. And McConville takes it back. Switched it as far as Stephen Campbell. And the man they call Soupy finds a man in space, and it's Charlie O'Byrne. Remember, Armagh 2 behind. Just under 4 minutes to go. Will they try and get a couple of one-pointers? Will they be looking for that big outside shot? The 2-point score outside the arc. Out as far as Jamar Hall. Hall missed one earlier on. Just over 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Into Charlie O'Byrne, hitting one, looks good, and that one has gone over the bar. It's a one-pointer, a second of the game by Charlie O'Byrne. It's now 22-21, Tyrone leading. Well, it's the big match that everybody had hoped it would be in the end. Little tentative earlier on, but it's got going, and now you just wouldn't know which of these teams will make it to the final. Shane McPartland is on in place of Peter McGrain. So McPartland comes on for Armagh to try and make a difference, but it's down there with the Tyrone forwards who are once again causing problems for the Armagh backs. They've done well, but the tough, unyielding Ross McQuillan went in there with his hand, won that back, and now it's the flying Stephen Campbell showing pace and determination. Out as far as Jamar Hall, transferred quickly to Cian McConville. They're 1 point down, looking to try and level this one with time ebbing away. Still about 2.5 minutes still to go. Plenty of time for Armagh. They need to be precise with this shot, however. And Tyrone look to try and deny them and hold them up as best they can. Rory Grugan giving it to young McCormack. And that back outside by Charlie O'Byrne. Burns, it's been some match. Nearly 68 minutes are gone here. Tyrone ahead by the minimum. Armagh with the possession. Tyrone will be quite content if they can keep Armagh back out there in the middle third. But Stephen Campbell has other ideas. Ready to try and take on Kieran McGeary. Little change of direction. Supported here. They go again. It's Callum O'Neill. Held back, but it's still in Armagh hands. Cian McConville looking to try and level the game. Back it comes to Charlie O'Byrne once more. About 90 seconds to go. Armagh have the possession. They need a scoring opportunity. They're being patient. Tyrone are trying to frustrate them and peg them outside there, keep them well outside that 40-metre arc. Connaughty. Armagh trying to create one opportunity which will be decisive. We're now heading inside the last minute, the 70th minute. Out it comes once again towards Stephen Campbell. Campbell will be very content with 1 point. He's right on the edge kicking this one. It might be a 2-pointer. It's gone up and it's gone over. It's just inside. It's a 1-point score by Stephen Campbell. A foot inside, I think. It's 22 points to 22. Yeah, just inside when he kicked it. He's leveled the game with 40 seconds to go. Are we heading for extra time? It would look to be the case. That kick out isn't a very good one. It's Armagh who have it back once again. The kick outs have absolutely hurt Tyrone time and again, their own kick outs in this match. And now it's Armagh who have the opportunity maybe of getting a winner here with the last play of the game. Cian McConville and Armagh looking to get back into the Ulster final for the third year in a row. Beaten in the last two finals with penalty shootouts, undoing them. It's McConville here. The hooter's going to sound. Armagh have the ball in their hands. They know what they have to do right now. They had a similar situation at the end of the first half, and Ethan Rafferty rushed it and missed it. This time they're going to try and work it inside. It's an opportunity maybe. The referee blows his whistle. There's a free in. There's an opportunity for Armagh to win it. I think it was Conor Turbett who was taken down. It was. Tyrone plead with the referee. They question the decision. Armagh fans are on their feet. They know this will be the winner. There won't be any time for any more. And Tyrone will have lost this match by a point to Armagh. That was Turbett taken down and fouled by Peter Hart, and maybe one or two more as well. And that's the reaction in the stands. Well, the hooter is gone. We're into stoppage time. It's Rory Grugan to win it, to tap it over the bar. He's done exactly that, and it's Armagh who are back in the Ulster final for the third year in a row. What an epic game this was. Kieran McGeary and his team have prevailed. Final score, it's Armagh 23 points, Tyrone 22. Some match. There we go, no extra time, no penalties. Thanks very much, everybody.